Want to pass it?
Grammy Award winner, and he's still a producer, or he's been a producer for musical artists such as Brian Adams.
Want to pass it? Sure. Thank you.
Air Supply, All for One, Bee Gees, Celine Dion, and so on and so forth. So here's a nice list. So I want to welcome Andy Cruz.
All right. Okay, you're all here today because we're doing a networking event. Frank, you ready? We're set to go. Okay. So the question that you were asked before you got here is your networking not working? Who raised their hands feels that their networking is not working? Some of us believe it is. Some of us maybe think it isn't. Raise your hand if you don't like raising your hand when someone asks you to. Okay, good. I need to know who I'm talking to. So here's what we're going to do today. We got a couple things on the agenda. First, we'll do some housekeeping. I need you to focus. More importantly, you need you to focus. You need yourself to focus more than I need you to focus. That makes sense? Every one of you has a handout in front of you with slides. I need you to listen, listen, listen. We got some background noise. We got lots of televisions, lots of things calling for your attention. The other day, someone said I have ADD, which stands for Attention Deficit. Oh, hey, what's up, Jeremiah? How you doing? Squirrel. So, I need you to listen and pay attention. This is for you. This is not for me. This is for you. I need you to take thorough notes. I need you to take lots of photos. I need you to take pictures with each other, of me, for me, tag me. Who's got their phone out right now? Take it out. Take your phone out. You ready? We're going to do a photo op right now. We're going to do it before we get started. Stand by the booths. Okay. You ready? Here's photo op. 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to hold it.
Okay, then look this way.
Zoom in, yeah.
I'm zooming out.
All right, we're going to turn. All right. Okay. Oh, Jen, you got it? You're good? Okay. So here's what you're going to see a lot of today. You're going to see a lot of doing what works more often with more people. Is that okay? We got a big group. You guys can talk back. When I'm asking is that okay, I want you to say yes. You're going to get to talk back. This is not a lecture. This is a conversation. Okay? So I need you to write a testimonial at the end of this. What did you like best about this? And then if you were willing to, stay afterwards and do a video testimonial with me on how this is going to help you grow your business. So, next, it's kick butt time. You guys ready for that? Yes. A little bit about me, and then a whole lot for you. My name is Andy Cruz with Veterans United Home Loans. I have no idea what's going on with that screen. Been in the mortgage business for 8 years. I've been doing VA as my specialty and my expertise for the last 3. In front of me are my boots in the ground. In front of me are my business cards, literally the book on VA loan that our company wrote, as well as homebuyer magazines for your realtor partners and active duty military who are looking to take advantage of their VA benefit here in San Diego. I really love what I do. I really care about active duty military and retired military. My grandfather was the only surviving member of his platoon in World War II. My other grandfather flew in Vietnam and Korea. My great-uncle Henry survived and jumped off of the USS Arizona. He was in Pearl Harbor when the ship was bombed, and he jumped off. Last year, he passed away. There are now only 12 remaining survivors from the Arizona left. So, this is who you guys see me as. I have no idea what's going on TV, guys, sorry. But you see my Facebook picture. It's a little silly, but it gets worse. My wife is silly too. And we do things like this. We go to 80s parties, and we have fun together. This is our Christmas card this year. If you're on my list, you're going to get this. It's us playing dead on a dead-end street. And even more so, our kids are silly along with us, which I absolutely love and adore. Some of you already know that I play drums. I've played drums since I was 14 years old. I love playing music. Did get to jam with David Foster, and that was very humbling because I felt ridiculous and awful. There's another drum picture. My wife is also a musician. She's recording her first album. It finishes at the beginning of the new year. She's been to Nashville 3 times, and she has a female style that's very much like Harry Connick Jr., Michael Bublé. You guys heard of those people? Cool, it's coming out soon. There's her album cover. You guys are going to see this in color when I send it to you. I also shoot with my friends. Those are not my guns. Well, the muscle ones are, not the black one. The black one is my friend's gun. And I like cars. You see, if you're on Facebook, I take pictures of cars wherever I'm at. And people say, Andy, stop taking pictures when you're driving. I say, I don't. I have a dashboard cam. So, if you like cars too, follow me on Facebook. You're going to see a ton of cool ones around town. Also, last year I started National Pen in Your Pocket Day because it just happened to happen to me. It just happened to me at the office. So I figured I'm going to start a day where every year we just choose a pair of pants to ruin and leave our pen in it all day long. And things like this happen in my life as a dad with 3 daughters. We go to grandma's house and all of a sudden hear, Dad, I think I pooped in the pool a little or in the jacuzzi. And then words like this come out of my mouth. No! When I grow up, I want to be Iron Man. Okay? I absolutely love my family. I care about these women so much, I cannot explain to you. Just like those of you that are married and have kids, you know what I'm talking about. They are my life. Everything I do to serve others is so that ultimately the byproduct of that provides for them. You all on board with that? Yeah. Is that cool? Yeah. All right. So, I need to ask your permission. I need to ask you for help. Can I ask you for help when I need it today? Yes. Okay. Can I challenge what you think works? Yes. This is an attitude check. Yes. Can I challenge what you think works? Can I tell you the truth even if it hurts? Yes. We're good? Okay. Can I show you what works? And can I inspire you to make a difference? Great. Permission has now been granted. We will proceed. So why me? Why is Andy giving you this presentation today? Well, let's take a look at the numbers. In 2012, I gave 157 referrals. That was $253,000 in closed business for referral partners, and that was just in my B&I group. That's take-home money. That's not product price. That's commissions. 83 hours of personal education and conference classes, again, just last year, about networking. 58 hours of director meetings and team development, 111 hours of networking meetings attended just like this, and 86 one-to-ones. When you and me sit down for an hour and we teach each other which referrals we're looking for and how to go find them. So, that doesn't even include the classes that I teach. Let's just call it 340 hours of networking activities last year alone. That's why I'm standing here talking to you today. So, what does 2013 hold? I don't know yet. The numbers aren't in. But I'll be here, and at the end of the year, I'll share with you my numbers again because you're probably going to be interested. If you're not interested, that's fine. That's cool with me. How many of you feel like this about your business? Or how many ask the next question this way? How many of you felt this way sometime between 2007 and yesterday? Okay. Sometimes we feel this way about our business, about our life. We feel this way about our networking. Why am I going to these things? It doesn't work. How am I going to fix it? The truth is that 98% of businesses rely on referrals to gain new business. Sad truth. Another fact, 3% of businesses have a strategy. 3%. 98% said, yes, referrals. 3% said, oh yeah, we're doing something about it. So I guess you could say that the odds are stacked against you. Unless you have a plan of action. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I like putting things into perspective. Who here has heard of despair.com? Nobody? Despair.com. If you like sarcasm, you've got to write down despair.com. There are these business motivational posters, but they're like fake. I mean, they're real. You can buy them and put them in your office, but they're jokes. This one says perspective. Less is more. Unless you're standing next to the one with more, then less just looks pathetic. But why do we do this? Why do you do what you do? Why are you in your field, your profession, your trade, your industry? I believe, for me, and I believe because I know you, that what you do matters. Because if you don't believe that, then I'm not sure why you're trying to help people. So I have to inherently believe that you already think that what you do matters. Yes? Anybody object to that? We are in the business of helping people. So it's time to give. We have to give first. And I'm going to tell you a story about a gentleman named Li Shaohui. Li Shaohui is crippled. He cannot walk, and he is a beggar in China. That cart did not come from the store, in case it's not obvious. That's just a piece of wood with some wheels on it. Now, in 2008, when the Sichuan earthquake happened, all of these villages and towns that suffered devastation and loss, they had to be cared for. And so there were all these places set up in the region where the folks of the community could come and get rations, they could get their food and water, they could get health supplies that they needed. And so one day, Li Shaohui is in the line. And Li's carting himself up to the front of the line. And he eventually gets up, and there's a military member there who says, "Sir, I'm sorry, today's handouts and today's food and water are for the people that have suffered loss in this area." And he says, "Thank you for telling me, but I'm not here to beg today. I'm here to give you this." And he raises his hand, and he has 100 yuan, which is only about 15 American dollars. And he gives it to the military officer and says, "I can't do much, but I choose to give this to help those who have suffered loss." It's only $15, but to them, it meant a lot. And to Li Shaohui, what does that tell you about him? Go ahead. He's generous. What else? Do you think he has a great attitude or an okay attitude? He's got a really great attitude. Oh, and by the way, the part I didn't tell you is that he went without food for 10 days to raise that money. All he drank was water. We can live for 40 days on just water, can't we? And so for 10 days, he decided, well, for 10 days, I can go without food so I can keep the money that I am begging on the street for to take it back and give it to people that need it more than I do. Is that important? Yeah. How many of you have had challenges in your life? I'm raising my hand. I've had challenges in my life. I've had challenges recently. I've had challenges in business. But our attitude determines and dictates what's going to happen as a result of those challenges and what we're going to do about it. Because ultimately, it's our choices that make the difference, or our lack of choices that make no difference. Isn't that true? Yeah. Oh, so here's another despair poster I like. It says, "Challenges. I expected times like this, but never thought they'd be so bad, so long, and so frequent." It's okay to laugh. Unless you don't think it's funny, then stay silent. Here's what my friend Ivan Meisner says. He's the founder of BNI. He says, "Andy," I said, "Ivan, what do I need to do better? If there's one thing I need to do that you want to tell me that I can make more out of my business networking activities," and he says, "It's simple. Do what works with more people more often." Can you guys accept that as the truth? Do what works with more people more often. It doesn't say do what sucks with less, never. Do what works with more people more often. So here are the top 5 things that effective networkers do. These are the top 5 things that effective networkers do. We attend networking events. Congratulations, everybody. You did number 1. Awesome. Thanks, Mom. One fan. The second thing we do is we give referrals. We give referrals. We pass trust across the table to each other. We meet outside the meeting, or sometimes we don't. Those who do best meet outside the meeting. We bring visitors. Raise your hand if you're here today because I invited you. Raise your hand high. Hold it up. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Frank? Okay, cool. If each one brought one, there'd be more than 50 people here. If each one brought one, there'd be more than 50 people here. You have to educate yourselves and others. It's a foundation. It's a foundational principle. How many of you here, and I do need you all to help me with this, how many of you here have to have a professional license, continuing education credit, or some sort of state or federal certification to do what you do? Show me. So why don't we take any care and concern into educating ourselves with networking, but yet we expect results from it? Yeah? No? I said I'm going to tell you the truth, even if it hurts. You guys gave me permission. So here's the deal. You need to show up and work. It's not net sitting. It's not net eating. It's net Working. Say it again. It's networking. Cool. We can't get out of the work part of it. But before the meeting begins, ask better questions. Hey, so did you guys watch the game last night? Hey, so it's really beautiful outside. Yeah, I walked in the same door. I know. It's sunny. Now, I'm not saying small talk is bad, but catch this. When you're networking, you should be asking, hey, Jeremiah, tell me more about your primary target market. Jeremiah, what's the best referral you've ever received? Hey, Jimmy Tyner, which is the best referral you've ever given? Who's an unlikely referral source for you that I might not know about? What's your dream referral, Charles? What's your biggest challenge in business today, and how can I help you with that? What is your biggest challenge in business today, and how can I help you with that? I personally know by sharing this with John Carroll, he uses this at appointments with realtors and other people in business. And I will bet that more than 99% of the time, he's the only one asking that question of them. Because everyone else meeting with them is just trying to get business from them. But John Carroll says, so what's your biggest challenge in business, and how can I help you? Now, John doesn't know what they're going to say, does he? But John can respond. They may say, hey, I need X, Y, Z. And John says, oh, I know someone who does X, Y, Z. Great. Would you like an introduction today? Or they say, ooh, John, you know what? I need ABC real bad. And John says, you know what? I don't have ABC in my back pocket. Let me go help find ABC for you. Would that be helpful? And now what does John do for his credibility and his loyalty to that person and his expression and willingness and attitude to help them? How do you think that helps foster and make that relationship more concrete? Is that doing good, or is that doing bad? It's doing good. Can you all do this, by the way? Am I throwing out something to you that is way too difficult? No? Okay. You're all smart people, I know. What are some of your tools of the trade? You're a contractor? Bring a hammer. You're a contractor? Bring a notepad. You're a contractor? Bring a tape measure. You're a contractor? Bring your bill collector. There are plenty of things that we use in our business that are tools of the trade that help display and illustrate to others the things we use to get and give business. But we fail to bring them because we're just hoping that people understand what comes out of our mouth. You notice that I did a couple of things today. I'm talking to you. I also made a printout for you to write on, and we have it up on the screen. Why did I do that? People learn differently. Visual learners, auditory learners, kinesthetic learners, right? Why leave it to chance that the way I talk is going to be the way you're going to hear it? I don't want to leave it to chance. I get one shot to give you guys this presentation, so you're going to get it all from me. This is just the beginning. There's so much more you could be asking. So here's the deal. We just did 30-second commercials. Who's married in the room? Married. Okay, happily married. No, put your hand down. Okay, we're married in the room. Okay. So we do our 30-second commercial. Like, yeah, I give my commercial. That was awesome. I hope I get referrals today. So here's a guy with a ring behind his back and his fingers crossed. This is what we hope for. Those of you who raised your hand that are married, how many of you accepted and said yes after your husband or wife gave you their 30-second pitch? None of us. We didn't speed engage, right? Why do we do that in networking? This is what we get. You think that 30 seconds is enough to teach me exactly what you're looking for, what to say, what to watch for, and then how to go get it? 30 seconds. We develop relationships with people over a course of time with frequency and with open and honest communication. The same is true with networking. It's no different, but we treat it different. If I show up at OG's on Monday, I'm going to give my 30-second pitch. Boom, business is coming in. Is it? Moment of honesty, is it?
Not necessarily.
So what are we going to do different? We're going to go to the next slide. Why do we do this? Why do we show up and we think that attendance is what matters? Well, attendance is good. I need you to be here. You can't have a baseball game without players. Your commercial, let's talk about that real quick. I need you to educate the audience. I need you to be specific. It needs to be easy to do and be memorable. Who remembers what I just asked for? Go ahead, shout it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people said boots on the ground. Is that easy to remember? Is that specific? Can you do it?
Yeah.
What do you have to use? Your eyes? Your ears? Both, maybe? Your commercial needs to be specific. If you generalize, you are literally hoping that this room guesses right. How willing are you to bet that we'll all guess right for you? Unless you tell me exactly what it is you're looking for. And you need to practice. You get 30 seconds in this room. Do you think you're that good that your 30 seconds is all it's going to take to get the referrals you want to grow your business? Not to get a referral, I said to grow your business. Will 30 seconds do it? No? Okay, we know this. Hard truth. Here we go. Your system will deliver what you have designed it to deliver. Notice the word system and deliver. Who has a networking system in place? Okay, the results you're getting are exactly the results that your system will produce for you. That's it. The system you have in place is exactly going to deliver the results that you're currently getting, unless you make modifications and changes to it. If you don't have a system, you got to stop being surprised when you don't get anything. If you have no system, stop being surprised when you aren't getting referrals and giving them too. This is the empty piggy bank. What's next on our list? Someone call it out. Next slide. That was a little checkpoint, by the way. Speaking trick. All right, referrals. Guess what? What do we got to do again? Say it. We got to show up and work. Do we love referrals? Yep. Guess what you got to do first? You got to give referrals first. But Andy, I can't because I'm broke. Before I refer, I ought to know everything. I don't need you to know everything. It's not your job to represent Veterans United. It's not your job to understand mortgages. It's not your job to think about which referrals I need. Stop waiting to understand everything before you can help me. Because, let me put it this way. Is it okay if I don't help you until I'm ready to? Because I just don't feel like I know everything. Do I need to know everything? I don't need to know everything. Does anybody disagree? Do I need to know everything about your business before I can refer you? Okay, so cut out the broke attitude. Cut out the broke mentality. You don't need to know everything. What are you, Mr. Know-It-All? You need to look out for referrals. If I've done an effective job educating you during my commercials, during my open networking time before everyone sits down and eats, then I can easily show you which referrals to look for, which ones to listen for, and then what to do. If I make it easy for you, how likely are you to refer me? Very likely, somewhat likely, not likely, or like super easy? Who needs more difficult and challenging things to do during their day? We're all busy people. We got families, running a business, we got stuff to do. If I show up here and I throw out something that's really hard to do, I should not expect that you'll do it. There's already enough challenging and tough stuff happening in my life and in yours. Fortune is in the what? Say it out loud. Follow. Say it louder than that. Say it again. Follow up. You know how amazing it is when I call a realtor back and they say, oh my gosh, you return phone calls? How embarrassing is that? It's embarrassing, isn't it? For people in our industry that work hard, that take pride in what we do, that other people in our same trade and field disrespect it. The fortune's in the follow-up. You could be missing the best opportunities available to you right now because we didn't follow up. It's easy to do. Who knows what the best method of follow-up is? Shout it out. Go louder. Go ahead. Face-to-face, phone call. What else? Bob, stand up and say it. The one you'll do. The one you'll do. The best method of follow-up is the one that you're going to do. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. You pick the one that you will do. Let's start there first. Let's start with the one that you will do. What do we got to do next? What's next? We got to show up and work. Thank you, Lynn. Meeting outside the meeting. Raise your hand here today and keep it up for everyone to see. If you have met with me outside of the meeting, raise your hand. You've met with me outside the meeting, either at my place of business or your place of business or at Starbucks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, great. Would you say that I'm doing a good job trying to connect to all you so I can pass you referrals? Okay. And have I also increased the likelihood that I'll get referrals from you? Because I'm occupying your space, your time, I'm teaching you, I'm caring for you, I'm telling you what works. By the way, in case you didn't know, today's talk is free, with the exception of the lunch you bought. So the meeting outside of the meeting, yeah, but Andy, that cuts into my attorney word, billable hours. Right, Dave? Yeah, but you know what? Dave doesn't have this attitude. You know why? Because staying at your office cuts out your billable hours. Do you want the $150 an hour, or do you want a referral faucet that sends you 5 a month? How worried are you about that $150 an hour now? Are we in alignment? I need 5 people as quickly as possible. Come up here real quick for me. 5 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kathy, Jimmy, Jen, come on up. Okay, we got 6. All right, here's the deal. I need 2 rows. It's okay. No, come on up. Let's do 6. Let's do 6 people. 2 rows of 3. 2 rows of 3 facing this way. 2 rows of 3. So line up, guys. 2 rows of 3 facing this way. And all I want you to do is listen to these instructions. When I count to 3, my volunteers up here are going to spin in a circle. Volunteers, you understand? Spin in circles on 1, 2, 3. Spin. I'll tell you when to stop. Okay, stop. On the count of 3, everyone take 1 step forward. 1, 2, 3. Whoa. What happened? Observations, share. They're not aligned. Okay, thank you. What else? They're going in different directions. They're hitting each other. They're back to back, moving apart. Okay, back to your original spots, please. 2 rows of 3. On the count of 3, everyone take 2 steps forward. 1, 2, 3. 2 steps. And stop. What'd they do now? They're aligned. They're in sync. They're together. Is your networking team working together like this for you? Yes or no? Thank you. A round of applause. Go ahead and take a seat. So the question for yourself and the hard truth is, are you proactively aligning your team to work with and for you? Are you being a leader among people or above people? Are you being a leader among people or above people? Oh yeah, and by the way, you get at the tire shop, they say free alignment all the time. I give free alignments in networking all day long. I want my business partners who are referring me to be in alignment with one another. Otherwise, it's going to be confusing. You're going to look at all these arrows, and guess what? Those question marks are there because I don't know what you're going to get, and I have no clue what I'm going to get. So here's some great questions to ask each other. We don't need to read all of these, but they're in your notes so you can use them. I'm not going to leave it to chance that you're going to think of these. I'm going to give them to you. Talk about other things about your life other than your business. Best practice, when you're doing a meeting outside of the meeting, and we're at Starbucks on Thursday morning from 9 to 10, at 10:01 we both know when our next meeting is and where, and it's on our calendar. Now, sometimes I'm better at this than others, but I know that this works when I apply it regularly. So that when I leave David Gutierrez's office, I know the next time I'll be there. Maybe a month, maybe 2 months, but he knows and I know it's already on the calendar. It's important because it's billable hours. Not billable hours. I'm not paying for him to sit there, right? We're building. Plan your next meeting in advance. Who's been called this name before? A brat? I've been called this name. Andy, you're a brat. I know. Thanks. You need to be building relationships all the time. Building relationships all the time. Advertising is great. Marketing is great. Building relationships is fantastic. Because people that know, like, and trust me call me all the time for lots of things, which increases the chance that you're going to get a call from me for something I don't provide. Because I've built these relationships, people trust that if I say, I don't do that, I can't do that, I'm not sure how to, they go, hey, thanks. But if I say, I know someone who I already trust that does that exact thing, would you like their number? They say, oh, Andy, thank God. Yes, please. You need to be a brat. This way. This kind of brat. Build relationships all the time. What are we going to do next? Bring visitors. Show up and work. You notice I used the word bring. Kathy said bring. Why do we say bring? Just guess. Why do we say bring? No, I want to say join. I don't want to invite you. Because what's the invitation look like? Hey, Rosalie, can you meet me at OG's on Monday for lunch at 11:30? No, you can't? Okay, good. Invitation's over. You need to bring someone with you. So, here's the question. Are you looking to grow your business? Would more qualified referrals help you grow your business? You can say yes as if you're a visitor. Cool. If I bring you to a weekly meeting I attend with more than 20 professionals who refer each other, would you like to be my guest? Would you actually want to be my guest if I said this to you? Yes. If I call you and say you're trying to grow your business, would more referrals help you? And would you come to the meeting I go with me? Yes, great. We meet at Mondays at OG's in Eastlake from 11:30 to 1. I'll wait for you by the door at 11:15. Remember to bring plenty of business cards. That's it. That's it. You don't need anything else. What if they say no, Andy? Someone say it loud. What if they say no, Andy?
What if they say no, Andy?
Thank you, Kathy. What if they say no? Kathy, thank you for being upfront with me. Do you happen to know another send-out cards rep who's looking to grow their business?
No.
Do you happen to know another plumber that's looking to grow their business? Charles, do you happen to know another landscaper that's trying to mow more lawns? What you're asking is, who's your biggest competitor that I can call next and ask them if they want to grow their business? You're going to get more referrals when more people are here. The only way more people will get here is if we bring them. Does that make sense? Cool. What do we got to do next? Educate. We've got to educate ourselves. If we fail to educate ourselves, we're just hoping that what we know works. The reason why I threw all those education hours, and I said 340 hours, not even including the classes I teach, is because that has been the critical difference between me killing it in referring business and getting referrals and me just being in a group. Being in a group is easy. If you breathe, you have a driver's license and gas in your car, you can be in a group. Right? All right. But to really get out of your group, you got to put a lot into it. That means you got to put a lot into you. Here's why. Irresponsibility. No single raindrop believes it's to blame for the flood. Well, it's not me. The group's just the way it is. It's not me. Results aren't happening. It's not me. Right? It is you. It absolutely is you. Because of personal responsibility. You, scratch out you. Just strike right through that. Pick up your pen, strike out the word you, and put your first name. Put your first name. John. Put your first name. Greg. Jeremiah. Because here's the deal. We're like, oh, you know what? When the economy gets better, my business will grow. Okay, you're waiting on the economy. Oh, if only my group did better at EBA, my business would be flourishing. Okay, but the reason that we're a group is because individuals show up. So what the individuals do is what makes the difference. Do you agree or disagree? So I need you to educate yourself, because if you don't do it, and I have, now we have an imbalance. Don't we? I'm relying on you to educate yourself because I'm spending my time here. What if I said to you, hey, Lynn, can you come to lunch with me for an hour and a half? I will bring nothing of value to you, but I want you to stay the entire time. Who wants to take that appointment with me? Let's continue investing in ourselves, because our investment in our education of ourselves is an investment to the group. Do you see the connection? The connection. You see the connection? You see the connection? You see the correlation? You must educate yourselves. I got 8 or so examples up here at the front of 16 books that are about networking. Here, let's just go to it. Here's some top 10 ways to educate yourself. All of these are here. These are just resources. They're on your page. You don't have to write anything down. I just need you to know where they are. Why would I keep this information to myself as opposed to just sharing with you so you can grow? That's selfish. I'm not going to do that. So there you go. There's a bunch of education for you. You will not run out of education. You will run out of time. I've done 340 hours, and I have not even scratched the surface of all that. Okay? You need to have a plan of action. See that blank line at the top? Put your name at it on the top. Put Sandy Matthews. Put your name. Put Jen Amos at the top. Because here's what I need you to do, and here's what you really need to do for yourself, is you need to attend one networking event per week. You need to give one referral per week, do one meeting outside the meeting per week, one visitor per month, and 1 hour of education a week. If you successfully do those things, I guarantee you are going to be giving and getting the types of referrals you want, because it's impossible for it not to happen. I tested this theory myself 2 years ago. I told you at the beginning I passed 157 referrals. That was $253,000 of business. That was 2 years after I started learning. Okay, I wasn't doing it all right at the beginning. So what are our top 5? Attend, give referrals, meet outside, bring visitors, and educate yourself. Have I brought great value today? Yes or no? Okay, great. That's why I asked you to take a picture. That's why I asked you to stay and give a testimonial in written format or a video. I'm going to close with a couple of really quality quotes I really like and a story. Who's seen this book, Great by Choice, by Jim Collins? He first wrote the book, Good to Great. Yes? Anybody heard Good to Great? The concept of Good to Great is get all the right people on the bus, wrong people off the bus, and right people in the right seats. Does that sound like our little alignment exercise? Does that sound like the type of people you want to network with? Get the right ones in, wrong ones out, right people, right seats, let's go. No matter what detours you have, bumps in the road, or hiccups, they'll stay with you because you are a brat, because you're building relationships all the time. All right, so here's what Jim Collins says. The greatest leaders we've studied throughout all our research cared as much about values as victory, as much about purpose as profit, as much about being useful as being successful. Their drive and standards are ultimately internal, rising from somewhere deep inside. Greatness is first and foremost a conscious choice and discipline. Choice and discipline. The factors that determine whether or not a company or a person or a networker becomes truly great lie largely within the hands of its people. Personal responsibility. It's not mainly a matter of what happens to them, but a matter of what they create, what they do, and how well they do it. This is a little blurry, but I want you to look at the top of the screen. We're closing right now. That's a man standing at the top of a 14-story building about to jump. The authorities were called. Fire, police, ambulance all showed up. And they stood there, and they did nothing. They looked and watched, and they were just hoping that this man didn't jump. They did nothing. After a couple of hours, hundreds of people are standing at the bottom watching this guy, and not a single person did anything, except for one person, except for Lee Shaoui. Lee called out to the man and said, "Please don't jump. I care about you. We need you to be here. Please come down, and I will spend the rest of the day with you, my friend." But you know what? The guy didn't come down. So Lee Shaoui had to go up. But as you can see, he couldn't do it on his own, could he, folks? So he had volunteers from the crowd carry him up the 14 flights of stairs to go spend the rest of the afternoon with this man right here and talk him down off the ledge. So when I tell you that what you do matters, I'm dead serious. You are literally in an amazing place of business that what you do and the service and the product that you offer could be helping change people's lives. I already know that. I already believe that. I need you to believe that too. So if we think that we have it difficult, I want you to remember Lee Shaoui and the one thing that he did that saved a life. Thank you for your time. If you have questions, please come see me afterwards. We'll do testimonials at the end of the meeting. Thanks. Thank you.